What's up, guys? This is Brian with the Driving in the Lane YouTube channel. I'm here to present my 2018 F87 M2. I've owned this car for about 7 months. I picked it up in June of 2024. It's been a really fun car. I got it at CarMax of all places, so shout out CarMax. This car was initially owned by a doctor in Cleveland, and he barely drove the thing, so it was quite nice when I was able to get my hands on it, and it's been really fun. So a little bit about the car. It's in gorgeous Alpine White. The car comes with the executive package, and these cars didn't have many options from factory to begin with in the 2018 model year. This is also an LCI, so it has the adaptive LED headlights. It's got the updated LCI gauges, so it's half digital, half analog. And other changes they really made to this car, no differences in power from LCI, no other body panel changes. The car's look identical. It's really just those couple things, and the interior trim looks a little bit different as well. Car has a sunroof. Personally, I would have liked to get a slick top, but with these cars being used now, it's not really easy to find a bunch of them anymore. So I just ended up being okay with the sunroof, and really I haven't used it that much, but it does the job. The car was outfitted from factory with quite a bit of M-Perfomance parts. Some of which you can see are the front canards up there. You can also see the side skirt winglets, and yeah, this car also had the M-Perfomance exhaust, which is something I was really looking for when I was buying the car, as well as the carbon rear spoiler. Personally, if I was speccing this car from brand new, I probably wouldn't pick up the winglets for the front as well as the side skirt, just because I think aftermarket they have better options. But I think eventually I will go and do that. But I definitely would have gotten the M-Perfomance rear diffuser. I definitely would have done the carbon spoiler as well as the M-Perfomance exhaust. Yeah, so in terms of modifications to the car, I started pretty early, quite literally the day I got it. I coded in the CS steering. I did the full screen CarPlay, and the car is bone stock from the previous owner. And I also added some Kith floor mats because I had those lying around the house for a little while. But yeah, the first real mod I did that was tint. So I got XPEL XR Plus. I got 50% all the way around, with 55% on the windshield. It is quite dark at night. I don't really love it, but I think the tint really does set off the look of the car against the Alpine White. Got to get used to it. With this being, a bit more of a fun performance car, I decided it would be worth it to paint protect it and ceramic coat it. So I took it to Dynamic Detailing in San Jose, and they did a pretty killer job. They fully paint corrected the car and got it all prepped up. At that point, one of the first things I wanted to do was kind of fix some of the aesthetic things. For example, BMW likes to put these hideous rear reflectors on the car, front and rear reflectors that were bright yellow at first, but now they're clean Alpine White. They're I&D paint matched. Along with that, I put on some 10mm spacers for the stock wheels, the 437Ms. They're a pretty good stock wheel in my opinion. I do plan to get wheels later on as time goes, but for now I got to build the car in segments because I can't burn all my money on it. Up here, I added the TLG Mudflaps. That's just really to help protect the paint as well, reduce rock chips flying up because these absolutely giant wheels are taking up so much space. This is a really good one. So I added 20 horsepower with this mod. I got myself the M-Perfomance gas cap. Yeah, it's legit sauce. It makes it so much fun because the car has a tiny ass fuel tank, so I'm always the gas station filling this thing up. So it's really nice to, whenever I'm dreading filling up the car again, I just open it up. I'm like, oh, carbon fiber, nice, real sick. Aside from that, I also did black badges. So this is an OEM M2 competition badge, and this is an OEM M2 competition badge. I went ahead and did that, and the competition part came along with it, but I gave that to a friend who put it on his Mini Cooper. It's quite funny. In terms of other aesthetic exterior mods, oh yeah, we could talk about the M wing mirrors. So BMW didn't want to put in the proper M mirrors for this car. They did it for the F80, they did it for the F82, and every other car, but not this one. So I went ahead, and this car actually came with a carbon fiber OEM M-Perfomance mirrors, but I wanted to get the M-style one, so I did the full housing, as well as right here, I did the sequential. So if you can see it right there. It's one of those mods that you can't ever see as a driver, but everyone else can see. So that's pretty fun. And I guess we could talk a little bit about some of the other power mods I did after that. This car's fully stage 2 right now. We did the inlets, we did the intercooler, we did the charge pipe and the boost pipe. And then we also did the blow-off valve. That took quite a bit of time because it was pretty deep in there. We took pretty much the entire front of the car off. And the car, you know, it runs pretty solid. It's currently tuned on boot mode 3. And it's been interesting to drive a tuned car like this. It is quite funny that you can really download horsepower. And the car runs really, really well on boot mode. Now it makes about 400 wheel horsepower. I think before the car is making 365 crank. So pretty solid gains all around. Let's see, if we go on the inside of the car, it's not too much done to the interior. I'm still obviously working on it. We did Kith Floormats, was the first thing I mentioned. Here's the P3 vent gauge, which I got off of someone parting out their car for a pretty good deal. I also did the M-Perfomance shift knob. I wanted to get more of a, more of a direct feel with the car. The OEM shift knob's decent, but I like the M-Perfomance one. It feels a bit better. Some things I don't like about the car, obviously the small fuel tank are one of them. It's also my first and my only ever coupe, because coupes just don't have as much space. The decent trunk size is still pretty practical. In terms of space, I meant like passenger space. You can fit 4 adults in here. However, it's a bit more extra. It's more extra work with only 2 doors. And yeah, I'm excited to just, keep working on this car. One of the next things I'm going to do is probably the M-Perfomance suspension, which is just a rebranded KWV3 coilover. My goal with this car is to not really cut that many corners with it. I feel like I did that with my first car, my Lexus. And I want to make sure I do things right with this car. So if I'm going to be doing suspension, I want to make sure I'm also doing, bushings. I'm also doing any like tow arms, tie rods, that kind of thing. Pretty much whatever this car needs. I'm doing a lot of the research I need to, because the forum's a really solid resource for this. And another mod I have on the way that is going to be a short shift kit. I'm going to pair that with a drive shaft carrier bushing, as well as the ultimate clutch pedal. But yeah, with this car being such a driver's car, I want to make sure I do driver car focused mods. So that, applies coilovers, better shifting feel, because admittedly BMW just doesn't make the best shifters for any of their cars. They don't really have as much feeling as they should. And I think just other, quality of life mods. So things like the oil thermostat, maybe future oil coolers if it becomes necessary. And my plan is to eventually take this car to the track. So doing as much of the prep work I can now to, I guess in a sense, overbuild the car so it can perform well on track. Yeah. So this is for the M-Perfomance exhaust. This is the remote that controls the exhaust valves. You have to double click it to put into track mode. Track mode is technically not legal, and it will invalidate vehicle approval according to BMW. So sport mode is what's defaulted in, and track mode is track use only. Oh, I also forgot to mention, this car has a Fab Speed catted downpipe, which is super fucking loud. But yeah, one of the key mods I forgot that makes this car stage 2 is the fact that it has the catted downpipe. That was something I put in right after all the aesthetic mods. I guess I forgot about it because I haven't seen it in a few months because it's been in the car. So this is my 2018 F87 M2. Hope to bring you guys more adventures along with this car and many others. And thanks a lot for watching. See you guys later.